From Nutrien Ag Solutions, this is Senior Meteorologist Andrew Pritchard with your Canadian Prairie weather story for Monday, October 31st, 2022. Temperatures across Canada, looking across the northern half of North America. I'm going to point out we've got two kind of sharp temperature gradients here, one across the central U.S. and then another one here across the Northwest Territories. And so it follows then, we've got very strong jet stream flow in these two areas. You can see that when we look at the satellite picture here, infrared satellite. We've got a storm system making its way through the central United States, some rain here where I'm recording this video, but then you see the very strong jet stream flow coming across the Pacific Ocean, blasting into the Pacific Northwest, portions of British Columbia, and then filtering over the Rockies and spilling into portions of the Prairie right now. So we've got some snow falling in portions of kind of west central Alberta, south of Edmonton, north of Calgary, kind of in the Highway 11 area here. Red Deer, maybe seeing some light snow here, a very narrow band of snow falling here early on Monday morning. We're going to see that continue to expand and increase in coverage as we head through the next couple of days, culminating with a swath of heavy snow through portions of central and southern Alberta into portions of central and southwestern Saskatchewan as we get into Tuesday night and Wednesday. We'll talk about that here. That'll be the primary focus of our forecast video here, a high impact winter storm coming in here midweek. Again, right now the model's kind of converging on a corridor that includes Calgary, Lethbridge, Medicine Hat, up towards Saskatoon for the heaviest snow here, and then a rather sharp cutoff on the southern edge of that there. So at this time, Winnipeg, Brandon, over toward Weyburn in southeastern Saskatchewan, right now looking at maybe no snow, and if so, lighter amounts as we get later into the week. So right now, again, converging on a midweek swath of heavy snow from central and southern Alberta into portions of west central, maybe southwestern Saskatchewan. So here's the jet stream flow across North America. As I pointed out, kind of a weaker southern branch here, kicking off an area of rain across the Midwestern United States. But here is the very strong jet stream flow coming across the Pacific, rounding the base of this trough here in the Gulf of Alaska. That's what's going to bring the unsettled weather as we head deeper into the week, as we build a pretty big trough across Western Canada and the entire, western coast of the U.S. Again, strong flow coming around the base of that trough, multiple disturbances embedded within this flow, kind of lifting, from the southwestern U.S. up toward the Prairie. One big one midweek, and then perhaps opportunities for some lighter snow as we get into the end of the week and the weekend. Here's a look at the height pattern within all this. Again, building a big trough across Western Canada as we get into mid to late week. Looking at the vorticity within this helps us look for areas of spin within the atmosphere. This helps us kind of diagnose where storm systems and precipitation are most likely. Again, here's the two branches of stronger flow with little disturbances embedded within them. Of course, the strongest branch here across Western Canada getting ready to blast into the Prairie. So here's what happens over the next few days. Again, we see this trough begin to carve out across the western North America. We see multiple waves then. The trough digging here kind of launches this first wave into the Prairie midweek. This is Tuesday night, Wednesday into Thursday. That's what brings the heavy corridor of snow. But as we head deeper into the weekend and on into early next week, we see this bigger trough carved out across the region. Look at all the vorticity in here. Multiple little embedded waves within that. When we talk about a deep trough across the region with a lot of vorticity in it at that time of year, we're talking about a lot of opportunities for light snow and light flurries. You put that much vorticity into a cold air mass, you're going to just, it's not common to squeeze out these big corridors of snow like we're seeing with the heavy winter storm. That's what we'll see Wednesday into Thursday. But as we get into probably late Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, beyond, that's when we're going to be talking about, scattered flurries across the region. Just cold, winter-like air mass across the region. You can see that I'm animating the next 10 days of precipitation. Rather quiet precipitation on the light side over the next 24 to 48 hours. So as we get into Tuesday night, and now this is early Wednesday morning, we're seeing the area of low pressure begin to develop right here, and then we're starting to see the corridor of snow on the north side. Interesting with this storm system, not a lot of precipitation on the warm side. It's all about that moisture running up over the top of that front there, bringing in that corridor of heavier snow. Snow is heaviest during the day on Wednesday, perhaps into Wednesday night, but likely tapering off as we get into Thursday. And then again, as we head into Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, we're keeping it with flurries in the forecast here. An area of low pressure passing to the north, perhaps heavier snow in some areas, but by and large, we've got good agreement on this first swath that comes through. We're looking at the European on the left, GFS on the right, this accounting for the midweek system that's going to bring, again, a relatively narrow corridor of significant accumulating snow. We see that, again, on the warm side, not talking about much in the way of rain. So it's not a storm where we see heavy snow on the warm side and then heavy rain with scattered storms on the warm side. No, it's snow or bust over the next few days here. Wind's not going to be a huge factor here. I think winds on the north side of this low going to be gusting anywhere from 50 to 60 kilometers per hour. So certainly the opportunity for some reduced visibility, some blowing and drifting snow, but I think we'll be a little bit shy of blizzard criteria here, though. Again, heavy snow at times, some gusty winds, still 40, 50 kilometers per hour. That's a pretty rough go of it during the day on Wednesday and perhaps trickling into the day on Thursday. Here's your probability of 6 inches or more of snow accumulating between now and Friday. Again, much of this falling Wednesday, perhaps again trickling into Thursday, but we're starting to converge on that central into southern Alberta, west central Saskatchewan, with southeastern Saskatchewan, southern Manitoba missing out here with that storm. And again, it's a narrow band, but it's a potentially heavy band, potentially getting into the 25, 30 centimeter category here. But again, the folks who see that snow total in the 25 to 30 centimeter range, it's going to be a select few of you who nail the heaviest band here, which could be only 50, 60 miles across from north to south here as we do something like this. So again, potential for some heavy snow, but less of you will see the heavy snow than miss out. As we add in the next few days, this is the next 10 days combined. You can see the swath of heavy snow that falls here Wednesday and Thursday. But this is when we start to bring in the opportunity for just about everyone to see at least some light flurry action, if not some, minor accumulating snow. So relatively few of you are going to see that heavy snow. Calgary, getting down to Medicine Hat, up towards Saskatoon. That's who I think has the best chance of that heavy snow falling here as we get into Wednesday and Thursday of this week. And then as we get beyond that, just about everyone's going to see that chance for some cold air and some flurries as we get into the end of the week. Looking beyond that into the middle of November, the pattern continues to look very cold. Again, looking at converging flow out of the northwest and the upper levels of the jet stream as we go into the middle of November, that's going to allow for a lot of cold air to accumulate here across western Canada into the Pacific Northwest of the U.S. So as we look deeper into November, it looks quite wintry as we look at the next 2 weeks overall. Here's your high temperatures and low temperatures of the next 10 days in Calgary. Again, a bit of a roller coaster ride, but overall, the trajectory is down over the next 10 days. Similar story here in Edmonton. Regina, we're talking about highs around 8 above today. We're talking about highs around 8 below this time next week. Very similar here in Saskatoon. Again, look at this. 9 above today, 9 below next Monday. Winnipeg, 13 today, 17 on Wednesday. In the warm sector of that system, southerly flow bringing in warm air. As we get into the end of the week, into early next week, cold air bringing in that chill as we head into, again, the first 7 to 10 days of November. So heavy snow Wednesday, Calgary, Medicine Hat, Saskatoon, flurries as we head into the weekend, and colder temperatures overall this weekend into early next week. Winter trying to arrive a little early here in the Prairie after a run of extended dry and mild conditions.